Well, hi there. My name is Jim Turner, and I am giving an update. And it's not good for me, but it's okay. Um, about 2 weeks after I caught my swarm in my peach tree right here, um, I started seeing more bees starting to cluster around my baited nukes. Got some over here. Got put another one up there. Got one on my cherry tree. I started seeing them going in there, pretty good sized groups, all excited, fighting each other. No, I'm gonna get it. That kind of thing, which is exactly what I saw right before I caught my swarm up here in this peach tree. Exact, identical behavior. A lot of infighting around the hole. No, I discovered it. No, there's a lot of that. Right before I caught my swarm. So I noticed the same exact pattern um, about a week ago or so. It started all over again. So for 2 weeks, I see no activity in my baited nukes. Not even one bee. Not one. Well, huh. When it's dead, it's dead. And then one day, there they were again. Like they were all excited, right? Going into these baited nukes, scuffling with each other and carrying on. And something buzzed in my head. I don't know what it was. Could have been a drone. I don't know. Those things, in comparison to the the foragers, when I have the foragers coming by my ear, including bouncing off of them, it's like hit me in the back of my head, bouncing off my cheeks, coming out. And so when the girls are coming by, it has a sound, right? And then when the boys come by, I'm thinking it's a bird. It's a bird bee. It's like it's like equivalency is a Cessna going by your ear and a 747. I kid you not. It's that dramatically different. Those boys have some wings, man. And so, um, yeah, back to the swarming. So the last 2 days, nothing. No, they're showing. I'm seeing no intention of any swarming. But this is a good experience for people, I think, to experience this. If we keep our heads up, we can have that opportunity. We need to when we start to see that activity, make sure our beehives, our baited nukes are freshly baited. Make sure there's no earwigs and spiders and ants build up, and who knows what else gets in there, right? And when we start to see that activity, jump on those right then and there. Make sure that there's none of that stuff in there, because the moment they go in there and sense something else is in there, the odds are very low they're going to be coming back. Inspect that dangerous place again. It's like trying to walk into a cave and then you realize there's a bear in there. It's already occupied. They're not going to come likely. They're not likely going to come back. It's like a one-off thing. So I did that though. But what I think I made a mistake, whether it's a mistake or not, is not relevant. What I think I might have made a miscalculation on was rearranging the outside of the hive, making it look different. Because if they've already orientated to everything around the hive, because they inspect every single thing. They go under the box, they go all the way around it, over the tops, side. They inspect the whole thing. They're orientating that whole box and getting an overview of everything that's there, and they're taking photographs to take it back to the crew. So look what I found. We don't want that one. No, not that one. No, not that one. Oh, that one looks promising. Go investigate that one some more. So, you know, and I had rearranged that top on all of them multiple times that week, trying to get tighter seals. I kept fiddling with the boxes, changing the entrance, trying to get. Well, maybe I should make this wider. I need to leave it alone. Don't fiddle with it. Get it set. When those bees start, grouping in and around the entries. Once I first noticed that, I need to have everything ready, and if they don't go in at that day, then at night go in and make sure there's no bugs or anything, and maybe get up earlier in the morning before they're out and about. My bees don't come out and about until about 11. they're, they sleep in late. I'm serious. I've come out here 12, 15. They're still inside. Maybe a couple of Bravehearts coming out, and it's not cold. They just like to sleep in. You know, a hard day. They had a hard day buzzing out, and they're just wanting to get that full rest so they can go out and maximize their potential of bringing in food. And right now, they are not hardly bringing in any pollen. So most of what they're bringing in is nectar. I'm sitting here going like, man, there's hundreds of girls coming in with nothing. Well, they've got that nectar sac right next to their stomach, their gut sac, and they fill that with nectar. And as they're filling that with nectar, it's actually already being broken down into honey. So they take it in, and they'll actually take a little bit when they need it. They'll eat, they go to flower and they'll eat some of it as they need it for energy and water, moisture. That nectar has moisture, and they'll take a little bit because they got to break it down anyway and kind of take the moisture out of it anyway before it's firm enough for them to put it in a cell. Otherwise, it just runs right out. So they're getting moisture, water from the nectar, and but on really hot days, oh my gosh, we need to have that water out. I've had this water out even on mid 90-degree weather. We had like 95 2 days in a row. I didn't see hardly any girls go in that. And this water right here, it's nice fresh water too, full of minerals, natural minerals and stuff. Perfect for bees. But they're getting all the water predominantly from the nectar. When they bring it in, it's got a lot of liquid in it, and then they start breaking that down in their nectar gut, and they drink from that. They get their moisture from that. Who knows that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I researched it. I went, oh, okay, right. And so, but on hot days, they can't get enough water sometimes. They can't get enough nectar, especially when when our area is going into a dearth. There ain't much nectar, and that's when they need the water. We need to keep that water all the time. Now, on water, you don't need to have fresh water. If you start out with fresh water, it's got full of minerals. The wind's about to blow my camera down. Hello, girl. The wind's gusting here. And so, when that dearth time comes along, oh yeah, they're in my watering holes. Oh yeah. Along with the wasps and everything else in my neighborhood. It's like I used to put out these big trays of water. And man, those things during the hottest weather when there's not much flowering, if at all, man, my watering holes are full of all kinds of animals, even gnats and bees, wasps, you name it. Honey, bumblebees. Yeah, I'm watering the neighborhood animals. Right? And I don't mind that. Even the wasps, they have rights to live. And I don't mind giving the wasps. Mostly the ones that would go into my watering holes were the wasps. Boy, I tell you, man, I had like 3 big trays of water, and man, there'd be hundreds of wasps on those 113-degree, 100-degree weather. Just hundreds of wasps in there drinking. Now and then I'd have to rescue them. They'd fly right in there and drown themselves, and I would rescue them. That was before I had a beehive. After I got a beehive, you're on your own. Stay away from my hive. Not like that. So that I don't put any more water out like that since I had my beehive, because I don't want to attract wasps. They can go somewhere else and find water. We got a river, little stream-like thing right behind my fence here. They can go there and get water if they need it. Keep them away from my hive. And so, I've had some serious problem with wasps constantly trying to get in my hive. Not this one. This one, it was so healthy and strong last year. Well, towards the end, even towards the end, they're still kind of a strong hive. But I almost lost them to varroa mites. I had to work pretty hard to save them. So I didn't really have much of a problem last year with wasps. I got this fly swatter here. This is my wasp swatter. So when I start seeing wasps around here, I happen to be here, I grab my wasp swatter. Wait until they settle. Whack-a. I whack-a do them. You know? The ones that I miss, they go back and tell their family members, don't go over there. There's somebody that's ready to take us out. Now, do they think like that? I don't know, but I always see a reduction after when one gets away. And you go tell your friends too. Does that happen? I don't know. I'm just gonna assume with my own assumptions. You decide for yourself. I see a reduction after one escapes. Now, when one doesn't escape, I get them in consecutive order. They just keep coming. But when I almost take one out, it barely escapes that swat. But it gets kind of hit, and it still survives. I don't know. I see a little bit of reduction there for a few days, not longer. Could be a quick ink, or it could be what I'm obviously witnessing is possible. Anyway, so yeah, no swarm. Bummer, man. That's okay. Now I got 2 hives to manage, and even if I only go into the winter with 2 hives, I'm good with that because they'll be filling out all that comb, and so when I go to do my splits in spring, I can maybe get, 10 to a dozen splits pretty quick because I've got so 20, 30, 40. So I'll have 40 frames of resources, including brood and the girls in the side. The girls in the side. Yeah, so the nursing bees. So what I want is a lot of nursing bees. When I go to do my splits, I want a lot of nursing bees because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own queen cells. I'm all geared up to do that right now, but I'm going, maybe I should learn to walk a little better before I start running. And so get comfortable with the hives that I have, being confident that and comfortable that I can keep them safe, keep the 2 hives safe through the winter, manage them safely, bring them out of the winter healthy and strong. And if I can do that 2 years in a row, 2 winters in a row, then I'm going to have that confidence that I've adapted to what's all the viruses and all the bugs and stuff around in my area, and I won't be overwhelmed with something all of a sudden happening. Well, oh no, I just can't stay on top of this. Right? Like those gnat hive beetles, thousands. That was the first time I ever seen them. This is my 3rd year of beekeeping, and that was the first time I ever seen those gnat hive beetles ever. I had someone leave a comment. They said the same thing. Yeah, me too. That's the first time I ever seen them. Right? And there, thousands of them in my hive. I removed thousands of them myself. I built a little trap underneath that they fall through this screen. I pull this panel out. I'm just able to get my hand underneath there once I pull the panel out. Yeah, take them out. My hands turn black. I can use it as ink. And so, there you go. Yeah, no swarm. That's okay. I'm good. I rebaited them again this morning. Took a peek, make sure there was nothing nefarious in them. And they're clean as a whistle. A lot of good scents coming from them. So if there was a hive that was actually getting ready to swarm out right now, or this morning, they would have been in them. So those 2 times. So what happened? If they were bees that were looking for another hive to go into, the reason why they didn't come here are multiple. One of them is the person. If it was coming from a person's hive, they seen what was going on, and they did likely one of 2 things. They either did a split, or they went in, removed the queen cells, and added a box. Boom. No swarming from that hive. Not likely. They're not going to swarm out without someone on, without a girl to support. Um, so they stopped it. And, and another option is that they had was they found another place, a different place other than my nukes. You know, there might be multiple people in my neighborhood that are doing just like I'm doing. And in that case, it could be just the luck of the draw. Yeah, who knows? Bees are really picky when it comes to picking a hive. Oh, I've watched them. Oh, I could not believe how serious they take it when they're looking for a hive. Now, if there's a situation for bees and they're needing to swarm out, and there just really isn't anywhere to go, they don't have like baited nukes and all that, no, nothing in a tree, they'll find someplace. Even if it's a cardboard box, they'll go. I've had them swarming in my garage when I was messing with my readjusting and building some things for my main hives. I've had them come in my garage and go into my regular sized brood boxes, dinking around in there, multiple ones. And at the time, I didn't know it was. Get out of here. I didn't know there might have been actually, because they might have been already. That was a scout looking. There were scouts looking for a hive at that time, and I didn't make the connection. I'm busy. I'm doing something. Go away. At the time, I didn't make the connection. I don't know. I think that was a month back or two. A month back, maybe. Yeah, before I caught my swarm. So now that I know, now that I know not to ignore that, I see girls buzzing around me. You know, and when I'm around some hives, and especially when I was dealing with cone and stuff like that also at the same time. So they were smelling the cone. And the brood boxes already had been occupied, so that had a bee smell in it already, and it was filling my garage, and my garage door, big garage door was open, and they were just coming on in. You know, investigating. What you got here? You got a home? You making me a home, huh? I wish I would have known that then. I might have 3 or 4 of them right now. Yeah, that learning curve in life, right? Not just bees, that learning curve in life about all things, right? And I like that process. You know, I like experiencing uh, the aha moments, like oh, on my own, independent. I don't like to be taught everything. I like the adventure of discovery, independent discovery, right? On my own. Now, some things, when I went to replace the spring on my garage, I know that's a deadly thing. That's a big spring. I heard it when it snapped. I just started to walk away. My garage door was closing. It sounded like somebody dropped a bomb on my house when that big, huge spring broke. What? And so, yeah, I researched that to see how to do that because I know that can be dangerous. And so I researched that. Got the spring. What you get going there? That. Oh, it was a bee. Couldn't tell. I didn't want to crawl down. You all right? I didn't hurt you, did I? Here, come here. Come here, girl. Up. There you go. Let's get you back in here just in case. Just in case I hurt you, they'll help you get recuperated. They'll help you get recuperated. Did I say recuperated? Add that to the dictionary. And so yeah, she walked right in. Yeah, she looked like a newbie. Their skin tone, the new girls, their skin tones are really light. Hasn't darkened yet. When they get out in the sun and they get a little older, it darkens over time. And over time, their butts get really black and a very good size compared to the rest of their body. The rest of the other colors and stripes on their body. That's when they're winding down. A lot of times what they'll do when they're winding down the last week or two of their life, they sense it. They'll go inside and become nursing bees or build cone or whatever kind of energy is left in them. And then they'll when they get close to that end of that life cycle, sometimes they sense it They just walk themselves out. One this morning, I saw her crawling around the ground. I said, "What happened? Did you get maybe pecked by a bird or something in the air?" And you never know. So I sticked her up into the hive, and she walked right back to the edge and dropped herself back off. It was her time. Uh, and and there she lays. No more movement. So when they can sense that they're going, they'll take themselves out of the hive so that they don't die in there because that can spread disease and stuff, and they know that. So they know that if their minds are not affected from dementia, Alzheimer's, B Alzheimer's, B dementia, could that possibly be? They have their own kind of mental breakdowns, genetic breakdowns of their brains. So yeah, they'll take themselves out. I've come out one day and looked and no dead girls. Come out the next day, maybe 10,000 of them dead on the ground or dying. They'll do that to thin the hive and preserve the food because the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few, and they just have that instinct in them to do that. That happened twice. Massive die-off. I went out one day, everything's cool, went out the next morning, like, what the heck? Of course, I instinctively knew what was going on, but it's still disturbing. And so, but I'll keep you updated if I catch another swarm. I'll just keep my head up, and the rest of the summer. This is only middle of June, and so there's a lot of drones coming out, and not a lot. This girl's laying in my opinion, a perfect amount of drones. The first hive I had, oh my gosh, she laid thousands. There was hundreds. When I was sitting there just seeing what's going on, hundreds of them going in and out. I thought, oh, that ain't gonna do. And so I started taking the males out. Because when they go back in, all they're doing is consuming resources. That was just way too many boys going back into that hive. And so I took out hundreds of them before they could get back in. And so, yeah, and my hive did grow pretty fast after that. I noticed there was a definite pickup of the growth of my hive after I started taking all those males out. Because if they're consuming all those resources, they need food. They need, that protein and this royal jelly, and they need food when they come back. They need to be fed. So instead of those girls feeding the brood and building comb, they're feeding these drones. And they're taking up all the resources. So I gave them a little help, a little boost by taking all those drones out. I don't know, I probably took out 500 drones in total. And then it slowed down after that. Yeah. There we go. No swarm. I'll play my little fiddle for myself. And screech, screech. So what I also did, I had some tape around the seam between my super and my second top brood box. Because bees kept trying to get in there. And I thought, maybe I'll take that off so that smell can permeate around and bring in bees that'll help attract them to my baited nukes. It's just a thought. Maybe, maybe not. Just like we try all kinds of different things. Maybe, and we eliminate this, eliminate that, eliminate this, take care of that, do this, do that, do that. And you got all these things that we do, maybe it's not one or two, but maybe a combination of those things that we do that brings us success. By doing many different things and eliminating or trying this and that and that and that and that, and just keep doing that. Eventually we win the lottery, maybe. Just keep tweaking this and tweaking that. And, okay, I tried that. I noticed this and I noticed that. I'm going to do this different. I'm going to try that now. I enjoy doing stuff like that. Experimentations, I love it. I've loved experimentation since I was a little boy. Yep. Love to see what makes things click. What makes things happen. But why does it happen that way? I don't have to figure it out. Mom goes, "Why'd you take the toaster apart?" "I wanted to see what made it heat." You put that toaster back together right now. I don't know where this part went. I don't know where that one went. Yeah, experimentation, exploration, curiosity. Good stuff, man. And so, yeah. So, yep, no swarm. But when I start seeing more girls, clustering around my nukes, my beta nukes again, I'll start this process all over again. Because what I want to do, what I like to do, is catch them before they come into the hive on camera. So I see that there's a lot of activity, and then I want to catch them so everybody can see what they look like well before they land. The process it was so cool. I've never seen it on videos. I've watched many videos on bee swarms and stuff like that, but I do not recall ever seeing the initiation behavior of a swarm, how they're behaving before they're even landing. Usually I see something, yeah, I got a swarm here, I'm taking, but to see them in action when they're doing it was so cool. It was this one ball in front. It was probably like that, something like that, about that. And then there was another much bigger one behind that one, the ball. And then there was a massive one in comparison to the other two behind the second ball. And they were playing follow the leader. That's obviously what they were doing. This group was the leader. This group was following the leader group. And the big ball was following the group that was following the leader group. And that's what I witnessed with my own eyeballs. I want to see it again, but this time I like to get it on camera. I've never seen that live action when they do that. All I've ever seen is they're just swarming. They're just swarming around. I've never seen a recording when they're traveling, going to their final destination, going there, what they do. I want to get that on camera. I tried the last week. I tried to get that on camera. I was out here recording all the time. When I thought maybe, right? I've made a number of videos, if you've seen any of them, thinking maybe. I hope I can get this. No. Didn't happen, doggone it. But I'm that little engine that could. I'm that persistent person that when I understand something and I got the concept and I think I've got it pretty well figured out and I know what I'm looking for and I know what I need to do to make it happen. I'm one of those folks that I just make it happen after that. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna go pick some blueberries, some raspberries, and warm up my dinner. And I'll try to do this another day. And my swarm over here, they're doing just fine. Oh, yeah. Doing just fine. And I got lucky, I think, in a sense that, oh yeah, please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, and leave a comment. I see my channel as like a tip, so by you leaving me a subscription, that's like leaving me a tip, right? Very similar. Very much parallel. So I'd appreciate that. And I'll keep you updated on all those who are watching. And there you go. That's my day. I'm gonna go pick some berries now. You have a good one. Bye now.
Big old drone. Look at that guy. He's a big one. He's a 747. He sounds like a 747, man. It's like, dang. Big dude.